Patriots take over in Seattle territory at the 47-yard line. From the gun, Brady underneath. Oh, what a wallop! Welker just took a shot from Browner.
Brandon Browner, Seattle Seahawks.
Brandon Browner.
Brandon Browner.
Brandon Browner.
Brandon Browner.
To be honest, I chose football in high school, you know what I'm saying? But I grew up a sports fanatic, period. You know, if I didn't make it to football, I would have been a professional basketball player. If it wasn't professional basketball, I'd have been a professional baseball player. You know what I mean? So as a kid, you know what I mean, when they ask us as children, what do you kids want to be when you grow up? You know, my answer always was to be a professional athlete. You know what I mean? And that was always my mindset from day one. As a kid, you know, I watched and idolized people like Michael Jordan, you know, all the greats, you know, and I did things around the house or, you know, on the playground to emulate those icons, those legends, you know, Jordan or whatnot, you know, Barry Sanders, the Emmitt Smiths of the football game, you know. And when I say I did things as a kid, I just set up little obstacle courses in my living room, you know what I'm saying? I set up pillows in the hallway and run over the pillows like they were hurdles, you know what I'm saying? And then take a dive into the bed like I was diving across the end zone, you know what I'm saying? So I've always had a passion for sports since I was, you know what I'm saying, a little boy. Oregon State, you know, they made me feel like, you know, they really wanted me. They had the scholarship on the table, you know what I mean? They came out to visit my home, you know, and brought the scholarship. So the scholarship in my hand was pretty much all I needed, you know what I mean? That's what made it a reality, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't on draft day, not getting a call from the team, man. That was probably one of the worst days of my life, you know, because I watched the draft, you know, with my family. We had friends and family over. We watched the draft, you know, and watched guys, you know, get that exciting feeling that, you know, every kid wants who have dreams and goals to get to the league, you know, and for that to not happen for me, you know, was a punch to the gut, you know, to say the least, you know what I mean? It's something I worked so hard for and didn't come true on that day or whatnot. And what made me choose the Denver Broncos over the other teams were they gave me $5,000 more dollars than anybody else. Looking back on that, I probably should have chose, you know, the route to go where I had the best opportunity to play. You know what I mean? I wouldn't play for Denver because they gave me $20,000 signing bonus in comparison to a $15,000 signing bonus San Diego or any other team offered me. You know what I'm saying? So I took extra $5,000 over, which is in the grand scheme of things very small. You know what I'm saying? Compared to the game checks you receive once you make the team. You know, that's not even a third. You know what I mean? $20,000 not even a third of what you're gonna make. So back then it was a simple, a small decision. You know, because I come from, I've never had no money. You know what I'm saying? I was taking, you know, the most money you were gonna offer me, and I was gonna take. And I took my journey up to the CFL, you know, and going to the CFL, I always had my goal of getting back in the NFL. That was always my dream, you know. So while I was up there, I had the NFL, you know, in the back of my mind, you know, while I'm working so hard, while I'm getting up so early, while I'm watching extra film. I did all the things that I wasn't doing in Denver when I was in Canada, you know what I'm saying? I had a workout with the Seattle Seahawks, which was my second workout with the Seahawks, you know, but under two different coaching staffs, you know what I mean? That workout, it was something different about it. I felt it, you know what I mean? And I felt like this was gonna be my last go around anyway, so I was very sincere in the questions I was asking Pete Carroll, you know, when we were engaged in conversation. I was very serious. Like, you know, you guys gotta sign me or I got to go back to Canada, or if you guys sign me and cut me, I can miss out on money playing in the CFL because the 2 seasons, kind of overlap each other. You know what I'm saying? The NFL training camp starts once the CFL regular season starts. So I could get cut in training camp and miss out on maybe 50 grand by missing, 6 or 7 games. So by that, I was letting them know, I'm taking a chance. I got kids, I got a family, you know what I mean? I'm taking my chance trying to make your team when I've already set. Teams want to offer me a certain amount of money up here in the CFL. The New York Giants, I picked off Eli Manning. He took it 94 yards. He was throwing to Victor Cruz. Victor Cruz stuck one hand out there, and then looked the ball in and left it out there. Well, our safety came to get it. After he left it out there, he dropped it and bobbled it into my hands, and the rest is history. I ran, as hard as I could run. That was me running, a guy who had been cut, who had been out of the league 6, 7 years, running with my heart out, running, trying to put on. The Pro Bowl was the icing on the cake. You know what I'm saying? Like, the first pick led into me making plays or whatnot throughout the year. I wound up, leading the league in passes defended. I was second in interceptions. In the Pro Bowl, like I said, was icing on the cake. You know what I mean? It really set it off, I like it and I don't like it. The reason I don't like it because I like being the underdog. I like flying under the radar. But at the same time, it's good to get that recognition. It's good to be on such a good team.
Gets tipped again, and there's Brandon Browner.